puts up a...
You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Inside NBA show. This is, of course, the crossover. G-Wiz is off tonight as he did a bit of overtime with the lads, so check out our last video. We don't usually do release one that day, so yeah, pop on, have a look at the chat with blokes like Josh Lloyd, Adam King, G himself, and Dan Titus from Yahoo. As always, we're brought here today by the Standard Squeeze, Ryan from Astute Newstead, and Bonus Bank. I'm the Mattrix, and let's talk NBA. I just want to say Wiggins is back, but it's kind of got erased with that coming of age game, that coming of age shot from Chet. That was huge to put it into overtime in Wiggins' face, and I do genuinely think that there could be a discussion towards the end of the year between Wembanyama and Chet. Look, all the hype's around Wemby, but the fact that I suppose the Thunder are playing winning basketball. Chet's back. Shea's phenomenal. Yeah, I'm now excited to watch OKC games, and I haven't been for a long time. Look, this week we're going to go through all the injury reports, some targets to win your week, looking at the best schedules for next week. I was going to have a discussion about James Harden, but it might just be me talking to you about James Harden. I've just had some thoughts about him, and we're going to go through some current waiver wire ads. Let's look at some of the injuries. Mate, our injuries are brought here today by Bonus Bank, so use code INSIGHT for the best matched betting site. Look, Jaylen Brown, groin is questionable to play Sunday against Memphis. Taylor Snow of the Celtics reports. Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas are still out. Just look for that little Dinwiddie bump. I've really been enjoying that one. Donovan Mitchell and Okoro are out Sunday. Of course, a bump for Garland, but some waiver wire pickups. Levert should be owned, but, Strus and Niang are some good ones to have a look towards the end of the week. Jamal Murray is still out, but he started traveling with the team again. Look, Malone has said, I don't know if it's on this road trip he'll play or not, but he's traveling with when asked about Murray's status. Jalen Duren's out. Killian is questionable. Armin Thompson is out. Andrew Nembhard is out. Davis and Bronner day-to-day and questionable, but Vanderbilt remains out. Of course, my Grizzlies woes continue. Tillman and Canada questionable. Smart is still out 3 to 5 weeks. Laravia, Adams, and Clark are still out with no timetable. Tyler Hero will be reevaluated in a couple weeks. Zion and Larry Nance, and of course CJ are still out. We've got Suggs day to day with Fultz and Wendell Carter still out. Oubre, of course, is still out, but he is. I did read on the injury report that he is back to some light work, which I suppose is only promising signs that maybe we see him early into the new year. Portland's woes continue with Brogg, Scoot, Robert Williams, and Simons all still out. Kevin Huerta, who has been great over the past week, is questionable due to his finger injury. I've seen a few people dropping him. Just hold on to Kevin Huerta. This is kind of what I expected from him this year. And with him going this strong, the Kings have been really good. So I don't see any question marks about his role or anything like that. Walker Kessler is still out for a couple weeks. Look, we're here to finish the week strong. And Sunday, there's plenty of games on. So, there's going to be heaps of options. But I started having a look at some of the matchups, and I love the matchup against the Pistons for the Raptors and streaming in Celtics players against the struggling Grizzlies after a back-to-back. Think, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, or a Gary Trent. If you need those threes, Sam Hauser's great. You can get some threes, maybe some blocks, a little bit more from Al Horford, and always a steal streamer. And Gary Trent actually scored pretty well in his last game. So Gary Trent there. He's been starting. Look, off the boil, I do kind of like Kevin Knox. I have no idea how he's getting so many minutes after not even being on a roster. not that long ago. But hey, look, Kevin Knox has been playing some big minutes. He's 32, 29 minutes, and has been scoring actually just really, really well. He's only 9% owned in Yahoo leagues. Look, 11, 7, 11, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals, and a block in his last one. He's only had 2 turnovers since even just getting to Detroit. And he's played over 24 minutes in each of those games. So, look, Kevin Knox is somebody that you can add, have a little bit of a punt, and I suppose try and win your week. Next week, it should be noted that there's 0 games on Thursday due to Thanksgiving, so we have quite a condensed schedule. Lots of teams on 4 games. I'll rattle them off really quickly. We've got your Hawks, we've got Celtics, we've got Bulls, we've got Cavs, we've got Nuggets, we've got the Clippers, we've got the Heat, we've got the Bucks, Wolves, Pelicans, Suns, Spurs, Raptors, and Wizards. Basically, everybody else has 3 except OKC, the Pistons, and the Mavericks. So stay away from them. Not too bad bringing in some Mavericks players because they do play on Sunday as well. But yeah, just have a little bit of a look at that. They're the ones only on 2 games, so there should be plenty of points on the board this week. Cavs back to back Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Sunday is the best schedule next week. With a few out, Levert is must own. Like I said, Strus is a good ad, or even Yang. Look for a bump in those minutes. Garland should be really good as well. We have 8 games on Monday, 5 on Tuesday, massive Wednesday with 14 games. Of course, Thanksgiving on Thursday. We have 10 on Friday, 6 on Saturday, and 8 on Sunday. Look, having a little bit of a chat about James Harden. So let's check our sound.
Pull over by this hot guy and let me out.
Look, I'm not sure that was even the right one, but the question, and again, was hoping to have a bit of a discussion with someone, but is he a buy low or even weirdly a sell high? That game winner against the Rockets just really got me thinking. The boys got around him afterwards, and again, he's been in the media. He's always in the media. Forced his way out of town. Look, we're talking about Good Blokes Association again. Shout out to that YouTube comment coming. But against the Rockets last week, let's have a look. 34 minutes, 24 points, 8 of 11 shooting, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. And if you have a look at even against the Nuggets, he had 35 minutes, 21 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. This is getting closer to the James Harden that we know, and the James Harden that led the lead in assists and was just a really, really serviceable, I suppose, basketball player, fantasy player. So I'm just wondering, like, are people going to see how good he was in that last game? All the highlights are him hitting that 4-point play there at the end. Are people going to think that they're getting a steal when in fact you could be selling high if you own him? Like, that he's been frustrating. Look, it's not really that great, the fact that he only took 11 shots. And look, 11 shots for most guys, huge, but 11 shots for James Harden is quite low. His assists have been great, still passing the ball quite well. I would say that Paul George is the man, followed by Kawhi Leonard, followed by James Harden and Russell Westbrook after that. I think that it'll be Russell Westbrook moving himself towards the bench. But if you own James Harden, I think now's a good time to sell him. I know I've picked him up in one. I'm in like 10 leagues, but I had him in one league just to have a little bit of a punt. Took him at like 28. Look, looking to trade him, traded him. But maybe you could be in a bit of a buy low situation. I expect that maybe he's like the 40th or 50th best player, maybe throughout the year. Maybe you could trade somebody that's on absolute fire and get a known quantity in James Harden. I don't really know. I think it's definitely worth a discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I just want to know what you guys think about James Harden, whether he's a buy low, whether he's a sell high, whether he's just somebody that you don't want on your team. But if you have him on your team, what are you doing? You're definitely not dropping him. He's had a ripper game. Is now the time, with this low sample size, just to move on from James Harden? Have a think about that. And let's have a look at some waiver wire ads.
Target acquired.
And that's brought to you today by the Standard Squeeze. Use code INSIGHT15 to get yourselves, some 4-in-1s. I know I drink my coffee in the morning, beers in the afternoons with it. We have their Standard Squeeze products, helping you drink responsibly. You can pour the perfect nip. You can even slide her into these 4-in-1s and just drink out of these, which keeps everything nice and cool. But look, Standard Squeeze has heaps of great products. I know that looking to put a wine cooler in for your picnic or everything like that are really good coming up to Christmas as well. I know I've really enjoyed the gear that Ash at the Standard Squeeze has been sending us. They've been sending us some hats, they've been sending us some shirt, and I've got heaps of products in behind us. Even if you have any questions about the Standard Squeeze products, I've basically got them all now. So send us a DM. We can have a little bit of a chat, but get 15% off on us. So, start thinking about those early Christmas presents. Having a look at the waiver wire ads on Yahoo, and look, Malik Beasley has been up and down. Got 33 minutes in his last game. Definitely not as good as his previous couple games. Had 20 points against Charlotte and 30 points against Toronto, with a 9-point game against Chicago before that. That sort of rounds out a 4-game week for him. Still played 33 minutes against Dallas today. Got himself 7 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal. Look, lots of people dropping him, lots of people adding him late. Milwaukee schedule is pretty good next week. They play Washington twice. Look, I would be okay with adding Malik Beasley. I don't think he's a drop just yet. Plenty of movement there for him with 3,000 people either dropping him or picking him up. That's actually probably the closest split I've seen for a player in recent times. Kevin Knox, 3,000 people are adding him. Just seems to be just consistently getting those minutes. Detroit are awful. I have no idea why they would bring in Kevin Knox to play these massive minutes, but there's not much else there. But 24 minutes, 29 minutes, and 31. He scored above 10 points in each game. The efficiency's actually been really good from Kevin Knox. Got 7 rebounds in his last game, still been getting a couple steals. And yeah, Kevin Knox, I think, should be rostered. Brandon Podziemski, let's just call him Pod. 25 minutes in his last couple games. He's been scoring really well. The second game against Minnesota, he got 39 minutes with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Don't expect that every game, but I think 25 minutes is something you could see from Brandon. That Minnesota game was, of course, when Klay Thompson and Draymond Green got ejected. There's 25 minutes there for this bloke while Klay Thompson has been absolutely awful. Look, maybe you could have a punt on Pod. He is playing Houston, Phoenix, and San Antonio in the upcoming week. Eric Gordon, still getting added, still playing big minutes, played above 25 minutes in every game this season. Expect that 14, 15 points like he has the last couple games. Expect those 3 points. His percentages have actually been really good by Eric Gordon standards. Just don't expect much in the way of assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks. But of course, when you're playing those minutes, the opportunity is always going to be out there. He's been the 144th ranked player, and you definitely understand him as a streamable option. Look, just a week ago, I was looking at Kobe White as a really good ad. He was coming off a couple of 16-point games. He was assisting really well. 7, 6 assists. Has sort of dropped off a little bit. His last game, he got 14 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. I see lots of people just dropping him, but the minutes are still there. He's the 107th ranked player. He's got 3 games this upcoming week against Miami, OKC, and Toronto. I don't think Kobe White is a drop, maybe you just ride it out for the time being. But Kobe White, he's going to be playing big minutes. Chicago need some spark. They just absolutely just need something. Just keep an eye on Kobe White. We have Sam Hauser, somebody I've been looking to add. Look, he's only had one game under 10 points in about his last 8 games. Always really good at hitting threes. Not too much in the counting stats, but that's just somebody that you can count on. He's playing Memphis tomorrow, followed by Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Orlando. Some really nice matchups. Jalen's been injured. Maybe if Jalen's back, you lose some of that puff for Sam Hauser, but I think Sam Hauser is an ad at the moment. Jordan Hawkins, I do understand people getting off him. Played 36 minutes in the last one, though. Dyson Daniels been scoring 10 in his last couple. I do probably see a bit more upside in Jordan Hawkins. I think Jordan Hawkins is playing the majority of CJ's minutes. Maybe it's just that I'm in Australian leagues and you see Dyson as that little, maybe a more of a sexy pick. Look, he's been getting 3 or 4 assists in his last couple games too. Couple of counting stats. I don't really understand that much hate of getting rid of Jordan Hawkins. Andrew Wiggins is definitely somebody I would be owning. Had a massive 31-point game. While Dre's out, he's going to be playing massive minutes. Played 34 minutes. He has been really awful, but cream rises to the top, and he is just a good player. So I'm okay with holding Andrew Wiggins. I actually held him through some really hard times earlier on in the year, but hopefully he rewards some owners and just does prove to be a really good waiver wire pickup. Nick Richards is out tomorrow. Only played a few minutes in the last one due to that injury. Look, 25 minutes. He's been getting, 10 and 11. He's a double threat. 8.5 points a game. Nick Richards is a perfectly serviceable backup. We're starting to get a bit deeper with your Obi Toppins, your Dorian Finney-Smiths, your Kelly Olynyk, and Tyus Jones have actually seen dropped a fair bit. And you know what? Trey Jones has been dropped a fair bit, and I completely understand why. Look, we did have a couple of weekend podcasts this week, so it was a little bit of a shorter episode. And of course, being a solo one, I just thought I'd duck in, give you guys some tips for the upcoming week and for tomorrow, and help you guys out. Good luck in the matchups tomorrow, and yeah, I hope everyone wins their week. Cheerio.